Hockey Club.
Florida, 6'4", middle blocker from Maryland, number 10, Ramat A 6'4" middle blocker from Henderson, Nevada, two-time All-American at Utah and 2025 All-Star, number 12, Berkeley Olaf. A Michigan native from Mortonville, three-time All-American at Western Kentucky and 2024 league champion, outside hitter, number 13, Park, Kansas, 2024 league champion, outside hitter, number 15, Allison Mayfield. From Holland, Michigan, an All-American at Michigan State, middle blocker, number 17, Alyssa Jensen. Rookie middle blocker from Hancock, Wisconsin, former Marquette All-American, number 20, Hattie Bray. First-round draft pick out of Charlotte, North Carolina, two-time All-American at Oklahoma, outside hitter, number 21, Alexis Shelton.
After the San Diego Mojo reeled off a reverse road sweep on Thursday, it was time for the Grand Rapids Rise to shake things up. And boy, did they ever. In the first in-season trade in the 3-year history of Major League Volleyball, the Grand Rapids Rise have added one of the best volleyball players on the planet. Two-time MLV Libero of the Year, Morgan Hentz, is now a member of the Grand Rapids Rise. They look to reverse their fortunes. With their newest piece ready to go, it's Morgan Hentz and the Grand Rapids Rise taking on the Atlanta Vibe. It's Major League Volleyball on YouTube TV and Rise Radio on 96.1 The Game. And with that, we say good evening to you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I'm Dan Hasty. That is Katie Olson and KO. It doesn't get more exciting than bringing in somebody the caliber of an All-American, of a national champion, and of a gold medalist. That's Morgan Hentz. She's a member of the Grand Rapids Rise.
She is amazing. She is leading the league in defense, in digs. To add that to your team, especially at the position that the Rise are right now, they need a win. And who better than Morgan Hentz to bring that tonight, especially since coming from her previous team, the Vibe. She spent 2 years playing against Leah Edmond, so we're going to see her tonight as well. So hopefully this can lead the Rise on their winning streak.
We're going to go ahead and give you a look at First Serve, presented by Morning Bell. That's our keys to the game. We'll get the table set because we are just about ready for volleyball here at Van Andel Arena. There is a considerable buzz in the building here tonight, and for good reason. So let's talk a little bit about how Morgan Hens fits in with this group.
She brings a level of leadership that you can't teach. She has been on national championship teams, played with Team USA. She is bringing that to this team tonight, and her communication is outstanding. You will see it tonight. It'll be a difference. The way that she was able to just jump right into serve and pass today, it's going to be an elite night for her.
That's First Serve, presented by our friends at Morning Bell. As we are just about ready to start things off, we'll give you a look at our starting lineups as well for Grand Rapids. Carly Snyder, Leah Meyer, Sage Kaha, Ina Torres, Ramat Al-Hassan, Paige Briggs-Romine, Alexis Shelton, and of course, the aforementioned Morgan Hens playing the libero spot here tonight. On the other side, let's take a look at how Atlanta sets up. Corey Lewis, Ava Martin, Aiko Jones, Raven Colvin, the former member of the Grand Rapids Rise, Avery Carlson, and obviously Leah Edmond. Grand Rapids, boy, if you're going to get Morgan Hens, probably a good idea when Leah Edmond's in the building.
She's been playing against her for the last 2 years consistently in the gym, so she's going to know her probably better than anyone else.
It'll be Sage Kaha, Ina Torres to serve. We're ready for volleyball. We hope you are. Atlanta gives it up on a slide play, and a quick point goes to Atlanta, thanks to the familiar face that is Raven Colvin. Raven Colvin was taken in the first round by the Rise in the draft last year. Avery Carlson, the other setter on the floor right now, gets a chance as Snyder goes down for it, and they tee it up for Shelton, who got a lot of work in her first match, at least in terms of that extended opportunity. Nice little diving play there by Edmond to keep it alive. A block, and it's kept alive for now. Shelton able to swing and score. Alexis Shelton ties us up at 1.
I talked with Kathy George a little bit before the game, and she said one of the keys to this match is winning those long rallies. So the Rise are off to a good start right now.
Carly Snyder's turn to serve. She launches a missile and lands it. An ace for one of the best servers in all of MLV, Carly Snyder. Boy, there's so much English on this ball from Carly Snyder. It's everything they can do just to receive it. This one blocked, down it goes. That's Alexis Shelton. Getting a hand from Ramat Al-Hassan and getting a hand from everybody in attendance here in Grand Rapids. It's 3-1. Snyder again. Over it comes. They set it to the middle, and Snyder's there to dig it out. Sage wants Paige Briggs-Romine. She scores. Hot start for Grand Rapids. So far, so good. It's 4-1.
Paige Briggs really getting up high, being able to take that shot down the line.
Snyder with another rocket that comes over. Edmond to the middle, poked over by Colvin, kept alive. What a play. Sage Kaha, Ina Torres as Hens returns it. They'll try again. Carlson got it blocked. They'll have to free ball it over, and they do. Right now, Grand Rapids feeling good. Ramat Al-Hassan swings, kept alive for a moment. Down it goes. 5 straight Grand Rapids points.
This is the start that the Rise have been looking for all season. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dan, this is the best start I think they've had.
First sets have not been kind to Grand Rapids over the course of the season. They'd actually not won 2 straight. We do get a timeout now from Caleb Banwarth, the head coach of the Atlanta Vibe. So we'll stick right here because given everything that's transpired in the last 24 hours, I know all these games start the same way and all these points are worth the same. But given the context and given the narrative of what's happened here with the Grand Rapids Rise, feels a little more important the way they started this one.
It does, because you didn't really know how it was going to go. You know, in a blink of an eye, 24 hours, you lost a player from your team and gained a player from the other team. At the libero position, that is your serve-receive home, your hub. So you weren't quite sure how that was going to work. Were the girls going to be able to mesh well together? Could they come out? And, you know, they did lose a teammate. So taking all of that into consideration, they're coming out to play tonight.
Morgan Hentz now a 6-year pro. Played her college ball at Stanford. Carly Snyder back to the service line, and is that another ace? Sure is. Carly Snyder is red hot, and she's helped the Rise to 6 in a row. They had a little trouble getting the reception that time, and there was one too many hits. So Carly gets to go again. This is exactly how you draw it up when you get Snyder on the line. Here's a tap over, kept alive momentarily. Hentz bumps it, Paige Briggs-Romine swings and scores. How about Grand Rapids? 7-1.
That swing by Paige Briggs-Romine was super impressive from taking that out-of-system ball back down that line.
Carly Snyder again into the net, but she'll get a nice round of applause from the folks here in Grand Rapids. What an unbelievable start to help her team get off on the right foot. Atlanta returns it with Ava Martin. Snyder pops, Sage looking for Shelton, who swings. She scores! Just inside the line in the corner, Alexis Shelton's getting in on the action. 8-2 in the first. I was curious to see how Alexis Shelton was going to start things off here tonight. Al Hassan serves. Easy play there. They look to Edmond, and it's dug out there. Al Hassan, they'll look to attack from distance with Carly Snyder, and she lands it. Through the changeup, it's 9-2 GR. How about the start for Carly Snyder, and Kathy George, her head coach, is all smiles. It's Al Hassan to serve again. Comes over for Edmond, who swings, got it blocked, down it goes, no, kept alive. What a play there by Edmond. They'll put it in the middle. Another diving play to keep it going. They'll paw it over, Edmond free balls it. We get a whistle, and into the net goes Atlanta. 10-2 Grand Rapids.
Right now, the Vibe need to clean up their serve receive. Avery Carlson is having to run absolutely everywhere on this court to get that second ball.
It's Al Hassan again, who paws it over. Carlson to Edmond swings, partially blocked, kept alive by a diving Paige Briggs-Romine. Shelton swings, fight at the net. It is blocked! Edmond tried to swing it, but Leah Meyer said no thank you. 11-2 GR hit their best start of the season. Al Hassan gets to go again. Carlson looking this time for the opposite side, and down it goes. Point Atlanta, thanks to Iko Jones. Now Raven Colvin, the former Purdue Boilermaker, the former Grand Rapids Riser, with their first turn at the service line tonight. Paige Briggs-Romine has it. They give it right back to her, and it's kept alive in the back by the aforementioned Colvin. Edmond on the attack. Sage goes up for it. Hentz pops Briggs-Romine. Attacks, and it's kept alive. They'll try to attack from distance. Great play. There's Morgan Hentz diving in the middle. Paige Briggs-Romine swings. It comes back to the Rise. We'll do it again. Sage, slide play. Meyer on the tape. Falls in. It's a point for Grand Rapids. The first sighting of Morgan Hentz getting very big in the middle of that Grand Rapids defense. Alexis Shelton's turn for Grand Rapids as her serve goes into the net. Service error, Grand Rapids. Although those don't sting quite as much when you're up by the score of Grand Rapids is. It's 12-4 as we get a substitution for Atlanta as Carlson comes out and Anna Dixon checks in for the first time today.
Along with Shannon Shields, and she'll be serving. Looks like they did a double sub for running a 6-2.
So we'll see if they can get an answer with Shields as they look for Snyder. That one's dug out there by Rumpelberg. Here's a diving play from Morgan Hens. That leads to a point. PBR gets it down. Morgan Hens, you're gonna fit right in. 13-4 Grand Rapids. As if this sport isn't already electric enough. You bring someone like Morgan Hens into the picture. Here's a swing from Edmond, not there. They'll look to attack with Carly Snyder. Attacks the corner and lands it. It's a 10-point GR lead.
Right now for the Vibe, you just got to stop the bleeding. Find a way to side out to get some points here.
Paige Briggs-Romine, who's already collected an MLV Player of the Week award to serve. To the middle, diving play, Shelton helping out. Other side, Snyder swings, it's down. You don't get much hotter than this. Grand Rapids, so far so good, 15-4 in the first. PBR once more. Martin pops. Shields looking for Edmond. Swings, diving play. Paige Briggs-Romine. Sage wants Carly again. Taps. It's down. Another point. 16 of the first 20 go to Grand Rapids here on Valentine's Day. And look at a very happy Kathy George. 30-second timeout. You are watching Grand Rapids Rise Volleyball on YouTube TV and listening on 96.1 The Game. We're going to have the immediate returns like this, but this is about as good as it gets.
Truthfully, they're hitting above 500, so that defensive play that Hens is bringing is really showing up offensively.
Let's take a look at how this one goes down. There's a slide play and a point there taken by Atlanta. That was Anna Dixon that time. Edmond swings, sends that one too long. There's a service error. You know, Kathy George talked about the importance of getting Atlanta out of sync, out of system, and out of rhythm. So far, it feels like they've done exactly that. Leah Meyer's turn. Comes over, handled there. They look for Martin, who swings. Diving play, PBR. They want Carly Snyder. Not there. It's right at the net. It comes over last second. Snyder keeps it. PBR swings. It's blocked from the middle. Big play there. That was Corey Lewis. 17-6. This one off the top of the net, and it is a service error for Lewis, so they'll trade. And the point goes to Grand Rapids, who ring back Sage Caja Ina Torres to the service line. Two-handed, they look to the other side. Dixon swings, and this one lands just out of the reach of Sage. Makes it 18-7. Well, it looks like Atlanta sort of stabilized a little bit, but when you have the start Grand Rapids had, it's going to be hard to wipe that from the record here in set one.
Yeah, I really love that cut shot that Anna Dixon had. It's a seatbelt all the way to that right front player. Looks like we are making that 6-2 substitution again with Avery Carlson back to serve.
That's right. She's serving now. It's Paige Briggs-Romine handles it, and a little bit of a misstep there as Sage Kaha Ina Torres couldn't get to the reception, and it lands for a Carlson ace. Well, certainly does change the dynamic when the heart of your defense now is serving with a different player. Briggs-Romine pops. Sage looking for some help from Snyder. Lines it over. But it's very much a team kind of learning on the fly in front of our very eyes. There's a swing from Al Hassan. Lands it. It's a point for GR. They've got an 11-point lead. And if you were in that situation, what kind of advice would you be giving to your team about playing with this new player? And obviously, she's going to make life easy for you as Carly Snyder puts one into the net, 19-9. But it certainly changes the dynamic one way or another.
Over communication. When you're adding a new player to the team in any position, you got to make sure that you're communicating so they are able to feed off of that and you're not missing any crosses.
Here's Taylor Smith subbing in to serve. Hens goes down. Sage wants Paige Briggs-Romine. Put it in the perfect spot, and she's got it down.
That set by Sage Kaha Ina Torres. She completely tricked these two blockers. Paige Briggs-Romine had no one up there.
You could say they're in system as Al Hassan gets the serve. Little tap from the middle. Great little changeup that falls for Atlanta.
I love that decision by Raven Colvin. She went up, realized that set was too low, and just tapped it over that block.
She's had a much better year, too. What's been the change for her?
I think the rookie season, when you're coming off of that college, you're playing at a new, faster, higher level of play in the MLV, so sometimes it takes just a little bit more time.
There's a service error on Raven Colvin, so it goes back to Grand Rapids. Working to get themselves to the finish line here in set number 1 with Alexis Shelton. Popped up, fight at the net. Edmond swings and Snyder's there. Sage goes down for it. Paige Briggs-Romine attacks, and that one too strong. A little bit out of system on that particular pay was Grand Rapids, so it goes back over. Iko Jones and company. Well, when you do yourself the favor of getting the kind of lead Grand Rapids got off to, you can essentially trade points for the remainder of a match as Sage looks for Snyder. There's another one. And the Rise have doubled up the vibe here in set 1, 22-11. Paige Briggs-Romine to serve. Into the net. Well, you can't say they didn't come out with energy here tonight.
Looks like we got Ava Martin back in the front row for the vibe.
She was one of the starters. There's a serve from Edmond that goes too strong. Right now, the service line affecting both sides pretty much evenly. One more point to set point here in the first. Here comes Hattie Bray for Grand Rapids, who nearly rescued the Rise in their third set back on Thursday.
She's been quite the serving sub for the Rise this season.
Got it all the way to match point, but they couldn't get the one they needed. Serve over, they look for Martin, they swing, it's blocked. Al Hassan! 24-12, you can cut the lights at set point here in GR. Grand Rapids has done everything right here in set number 1, and they look to finish it with one final point. A free ball comes back. Al Hassan dumps it down. And the Grand Rapids Rise look like a whole new team through one set here in GR. Set number 1 goes to Grand Rapids. They have a 1-0 lead, and it's safe to say there's a little energy in the building.
Oh my goodness. They are hitting over 500, and they are leaving the vibe only to 100. Leah Edmond is hitting 0 right now. They're doing all of the things that Kathy George said they needed to do in this match to be successful, and that's what you're seeing right now with the Rise.
Well, if Grand Rapids has learned anything, it's that nothing is over until you get that third set. So there's still plenty of work to be done for Grand Rapids. And you know, when you have Leah Edmond on the other side, you know Atlanta is going to have a counter punch of their own. We are through one set. We'll take a timeout, come back, get ready for set number 2 on the other side of this timeout. You are watching and listening to Grand Rapids Rise Volleyball on YouTube and on 96.1 The Game.
With more than 100,000 trips and 2 million happy passengers, that same proven team is
And it's time once again for Grand Rapids Rise Volleyball.
From a 4-time ABCA All-American and 2-time SEC Player of the Year Kentucky, Leah Edmond's journey is built on grit and heart. The first player ever signed to MLV and the 2024 League MVP. Now in her 3rd straight year as captain, she's earned 3 Pro Player of the Week honors, including her first of 2026 this week. And off the court, she shows up, mentoring, inspiring, and giving back to the next generation.
Caleb Anworth's team silencing the skeptics.
We have had a phenomenal team as we look to bring home a championship in season 3.
We're continuing to get better, and I'm really excited because we haven't played our best volleyball yet.
How about the largest win in set history for the Grand Rapids Rise? Welcome back through set 1. Grand Rapids 1, Atlanta nothing. Dan Hasty, Katie Olson alongside. Well, you were hoping that you'd see energy. You got domination from Grand Rapids.
And the crowd, you really got the crowd into this one, which is what I love to see. It's so fun to be here. Morgan Hens bringing her defense to Grand Rapids is not only affecting how they play defensively, but also offensively. This is the best start the Rise have had, I think, this season by hitting over 500.
Well, it's certainly best the last time they had it as we get things going in set number 2. Ramat Al-Hassan swings. It comes back towards us. And now they fight and they look for Shelton, who swings. That one lands thanks to Alexis Shelton. And set number 2 begins the way that set 1 ended. The previous biggest win in a single set in Rise history came against Orlando back in 2024 as Carly Snyder swings and puts one into the net. It was 25-13 then. Now it goes back to Atlanta and Ava Martin. Boy, both teams having a whale of a time from the service line after that hot start for Grand Rapids.
Trying to find the in-between of being super aggressive but still smart.
Al-Hassan pops it over. Fight at the net, and what a great play. Snyder lays out for it. Atlanta gets another chance to counter. Kept alive on the Edmond swing. Paige Briggs-Romine sends it back. Carlson looks for Jones. Ramat Al-Hassan gets it. Paige Briggs-Romine keeps it going for now, but one too many.
That was some wild pursuit. She almost got there. Almost got our cameraman, too.
Morgan Hens was not on the floor for that exchange, but you wouldn't have known because it looked like every player turned into Morgan. Raven Colvin to serve for Atlanta. That was a fireball right there. Paige Briggs-Romine with a fireball of her own. But it comes back to Grand Rapids. Shelton sends it to Atlanta, and it comes over, and it's down for a point for the Vibe. Leah Edmond. Now, Grand Rapids might actually challenge this because it looked for a moment as if one of the plays during that sequence actually had hit the floor or perhaps a foot of an Atlanta player.
Grand Rapids is challenging a floor touch.
So it looks like we are challenging a floor touch on that play from Paige Briggs-Romine's swing.
What did you see in real time? Because as we look at our officials for this one here tonight, Christian Kurtjak is our first referee. Tong Win is referee 2 here tonight. It always reminds us just how fast these games are.
It's so quick, and on that play, honestly, I thought it was down, but anything can happen in this league. It's so quick that if any part of that ball did hit the ground, it is ruled done, game over.
So we'll get a closer look at it hopefully in the next moment or two, as now we finally get our first look. Here it is. That hit the floor all right. You kind of wondered if it maybe had hit the foot and then came straight up, but you can see as it hits, then it goes down, and that swings the point back to Grand Rapids.
Which you have seen it hit off players' feet and go up, so that was definitely a good challenge.
Back to Alexis Shelton to serve for Grand Rapids. Good crowd on hand here for this Valentine's Day edition of Grand Rapids Rise Volleyball. They didn't receive that one the way they wanted. Little tap to the middle. Shelton pops it straight back and it falls. Little excuse me from Alexis Shelton. Make it 4-2. Can't help but laugh if you're on the Grand Rapids side that time.
I can tell you that was not on purpose.
This is why we rehearse, people. 4-2. Shelton again. Little tap. There's Morgan Hens keeping it alive. Paige Briggs-Romine swings and keeps that point going for now. Into the back row. Snyder, they look to her. She puts one up. It's handled by Atlanta this time. Edmond swings. Good play. Snyder keeps it going. They look for Paige Briggs-Romine. Handled in the back. This is a hard-fought volley here. Block, point, Atlanta, thanks to Leah Edmond. And you knew based on how that first set went, they were going to try everything they could to get her going.
They definitely have to get Leah Edmond going in better positions. Right now, she's getting a lot of balls that are out of system, which gives her a set double block on the other side. So getting some in-system balls to get her going is what the Vibe needs.
Aiko Jones to serve for the Vibe. Briggs-Romine, Hens bumps it, wants PBR. It's blocked, but it's right back to Grand Rapids. They look to her again. She swings. Jones goes down for it. They look to the other side, and Edmond handled by Grand Rapids. Sage, backside play, attacking from 10 is Shelton. Doesn't have it, goes back to the Vibe. A swing, Hens is there to land it. Other side, Paige Briggs-Romine taps, and it's blocked. Corey Lewis sends it where it came from. 2 straight for the Vibe, and it's even at 4.
She has such great reach as that middle blocker, being able to hang and throw that ball back down.
Thought that one might have had a chance of going out of bounds, but it was played instead. Paige Briggs-Romine gets it blocked. Carlson, little help from Corey Lewis. There's 3 straight points for the Vibe.
Man, Carlson has had a great first season as a rookie for the Vibe. She's really made an impact on her team.
Aiko Jones again. PBR, Liam Meyer swings, got it blocked. Hens is there, and somehow, some way, they return it. Carlson for Edmond, jams it down. Leah Edmond, it's 6-4, Atlanta.
Such a smart set by Carlson. She saw Sage Kahayana-Torres on the ground, so they had no outside blocker. Set it up for Leah Edmond.
Now you see Atlanta starting to get comfortable and into system. Serve over, they want PBR, who tries the tap, and it's kept alive. Other side, Edmond got it blocked. Liam Meyer. Little help from Sage Kanahina Torres. 6-5, first point of the last 5 for Grand Rapids.
A break roll line back to serve.
It's got to be an interesting dynamic, too, on the Atlanta side because, you know, for as unusual as it is for Grand Rapids to be with Morgan Hentz, Atlanta is, of course, the team that had her for her first 2 MLV seasons. Edmond sends it, and Paige Briggs-Romine swings. That one out of bounds. 7-5. Grand Rapids down by 2. For the first 2 seasons, it was Hentz and Edmond. They were the backbone of the Atlanta Vibe.
And man, Edmond is so great defensively that they covered a lot of ground back there on the Vibe squad.
Here's Edmond to serve. Another service error. Goes back to Grand Rapids and Leah Meyer. Well, after this set concludes, we are expecting to talk with Morgan Hentz. So keep it tuned after the end of set number 2. Meyer serves. Easy ball there as it's up and down for a point. Atlanta slams it down with Aiko Jones, 8-6-5. We were talking before the contest about just what it's like to go through this process as Al Hassan slams one down. Puts the Rise within a point about all the different factors of what happens when a trade gets made. And obviously for all the excitement that is having someone like Morgan Hentz, it's a tough day for this Grand Rapids Rise squad who had to say goodbye to a teammate, a beloved one, in Elena Ogilvy. There's a point from Jones. Makes it 9-7 in favor of the Vibe, but Elena Ogilvy, what an outstanding start to her MLV career here in Grand Rapids. Avery Carlson serves. Snyder, Sage, back to Carly, bang, she hits it. Rise are down a point, 9-8. Because on top of that, we also have some dignitaries in the building today. Led by Jen Spiker, CEO of Major League Volleyball, as Snyder serves. Here's a chance. Hentz goes down to keep it going. Chance for Alexis Shelton. She's got it. Point GR. We're even at 9.
Shelton's really coming alive in that right side opposite position that she is new to this season.
They've already got the signs made for Morgan Hentz. Serve over from Snyder. They look to attack. Blocked for a moment, but not blocked in bounds. That's a point for Grand Rapids. They've got 3 in a row and a 10-9 lead. We saw this Grand Rapids team try to make defense so much of their identity last season. And now to see what they have, they can almost kind of do it again. Here's a chance right at the pin. That goes for a point to Atlanta. That brings in a substitute. Taylor Smith comes in to serve for the Vibe. She'll spell Ava Martin. Well, you all knew Atlanta was too talented to go that quietly like they did in the first set. We got ourselves a contest now as Sage looks for Al Hassan, who blasts one, kept alive for a moment, but they're not going to get that one. It's a point for Grand Rapids.
She's starting to come alive tonight, adding her 4th kill, hitting 800.
They've got Carly Snyder over 50%. Liam Myers at 33. There's a point from Atlanta from the middle. Al Hassan couldn't gather it. And Alexis Shelton's off to a good start, too. She's hitting 500 herself. To Raven Colvin and the Vibe. Into the net for Raven Colvin.
That's their 6th serving error for the Vibe.
We kind of saw that in the first 2 sets against San Diego. They were sort of their own worst enemy, and then they were able to straighten things out. And boy, did they ever. It's part of that reverse road sweep for the Mojo here on Thursday. Sage wants Paige Briggs-Romine. It's blocked. Aiko Jones. Boy, in that matchup between PBR and Jones right now, Aiko Jones looks pretty comfortable.
Aiko Jones is bringing the vibe back into this match.
Here's Jones. They look for Paige Briggs-Romine again to the middle. They'll have to free ball it back. And it's more than a free ball. That one lands. What a play there from Aiko Jones.
She takes big swings.
You thought that was just going to be lucky to get the ball back to the other side. And instead, she lands it. That one lands into the net. It's another service there, the 7th so far for the Atlanta Vibe. There's Paige Briggs-Romine. An opportunity for the Michigan native here in her 2nd season back in her home state. Handled Carlson for Edmond, who swings and scores just inside the back corner.
Everybody clap your hands.
Man, that's a tough swing to defend that deep back corner.
Everybody clap your hands.
You see Bird Kuhn in the background there as Leah Edmond gets ready to serve. The coach for Omaha for her first 2 seasons as they look for a slide play with Meyer. Got it out of her range. You can see how close that one was to nipping the line regardless, but now Bird Kuhn, the GM and assistant coach for this Atlanta Vibe squad. The serve over, Snyder, Sage looking for Meyer, who tips and lands it. Atlanta had a little bit of a hard time returning it, and the point goes to Grand Rapids, but not often do you see that kind of clout on the sidelines with Kayla Banwarth and Bird Kuhn. It was Bird Kuhn that led Omaha to the championship in MLV back in year number 1. Jones swings, she scores for Atlanta, makes it 16-14, and that brings us to a timeout.
All right, fans.
A little bit tighter here in set number 2. Atlanta by 2 in set 2. It's 1-0 Grand Rapids. You're watching and listening along on Rise Radio, presented by U of M Health West. An opportunity to see if Grand Rapids can make it 2 straight sets after dominating set number 1, their biggest single set victory in franchise history. Now we're back to live action as Atlanta serves and the Rise look to answer with Carly Snyder. It's kept alive, a little collision there in the back. Corey Lewis and Leah Edmond, a swing lands in the corner. Point Atlanta as they just missed it, but it must have been deflected by a member of Grand Rapids. 3-point lead for Atlanta. Dan Hasty, Katie Olson, good turnout here tonight at Van Andel. As the serve comes over from Lewis. Al Hassan looks to tap. It's kept alive. Edmond's going to have to just barely get it over. She does. Hence Sage. Al Hassan scores. Looked like it almost got blocked, but they just couldn't get it down. It's a 2-point deficit for GR.
Yeah, it's battle of the blockers right now. Raven Colvin and Al Hassan are tied for 2nd place in blocks.
Sage Kaha, Ina Torres pokes it over. And they can't get it down. Little out of system on the chance for Raven Colvin. There's a mistake, and Grand Rapids gets the point. Sage again. Boy, that one was close to going out. They play it instead, and they can't get that one over either. Interesting to watch the swings of this game. One of the things we noticed early was issues with getting the ball over the net on the service line, and now some issues getting it over in time. Another Sage serve. They look again. This one's Taylor Smith, and it's handled. Hence bumps it towards Carly Snyder, who looks, she shoots. It's long. Out of bounds, and it's a 1-point Atlanta lead. Avery Carlson. Snyder lays out. Tough play. Had to do everything they could just to get it over. Carlson for Edmond, kept alive on a block from Al Hassan, but Atlanta has another chance. How about another block for Ramon Al Hassan? Little help from Alexis Shelton, and we're even at 18. The defense looks quite different than what we've seen over the handful of the first collection of matches for Grand Rapids over the course of their first 9 matches. As Shelton swings and scores. The lead belongs to GR late in set 2.
Looks like Shelton's getting pretty comfortable on that opposite side.
Still hitting 500. Timeout Atlanta. We'll keep it right here with a 19-18 Grand Rapids lead here in set number 2. What we've seen so far here in the second set, very different look from the first set. We saw Grand Rapids get off and essentially just kind of bull rush Atlanta. Now the vibe has started to stabilize a little bit, and now they've been able to make it a little bit closer. Even despite that, Grand Rapids holds the lead at the moment.
They got in system. That was the difference between set 1 and set 2 for the vibe. Avery Carlson didn't have to just run everywhere and anywhere. She was able to set her offense and start distributing the ball, not so predictably. So you saw better hitting percentages for the vibe.
Well, if Grand Rapids can make it 2 straight sets, that would be the second straight match in which they've done so. Of course, after the reverse sweep in their last contest. They'll see if they can finish set 2 the way they did on Thursday. There's a swing and a score from Raven Colvin, 19-19. We saw Colvin show that talent in flashes last year with Grand Rapids.
Oh my gosh, she just soared to hit that side.
Taylor Smith's turn. Snyder down Sage, looking for PBR, who swings and scores. Paige Briggs-Romine. This is sort of the score we expected throughout here tonight. It's Camila Gomez, a libero in her own right, comes in as a serving sub for GR. Handled, play at the net, and a fight at the net. Point, Grand Rapids.
So it looks like they broke the plane of the net, giving the Rise the point. And what a serve by Gomez coming fresh off the bench.
It's got to make you feel really good, especially when that's your first chance of the night. Another serve goes over. Carlson looking near side. Jones throws the hammer. Aiko Jones.
And she is so good at going line right over Paige Briggs-Romine.
Camila Gomez comes out, as does Al Hassan, so they can get Morgan Hentz back on the floor. Raven Colvin to serve for Atlanta. There's an ace. I think they may have thought about letting that one go, but by the time Paige Briggs-Romine made that decision, it was a little bit too late.
The pace on Colvin's serve is so quick.
Colvin leaves a little bit more underneath this one. Sage looking for Shelton, who's had a great start tonight. She bangs one down, and it's a 1-point Rise lead. You know, we saw her playing in a different position, playing the opposite back on Thursday. You could tell she was sort of taking some time to get the hang of it. Took her a couple of sets, but eventually she got it, and she looked really good, especially in those final couple of sets. So serve comes over. Edmond got it blocked, but it goes out of bounds. Atlanta gets the point to even us up at 22. But tonight looks really good for Alexis Shelton.
She definitely has some confidence with her in tonight's game.
Shooting .600. Here's Aiko Jones to serve, and she sends it long. Point Grand Rapids. That's a big point to get at this juncture, 23-22. Another point here from GR will send us to set point in the second. With Paige Briggs Romine, the native of Ortonville, Michigan. Last second deciding to handle that. Edmond sends it through. Point Atlanta, and it's a race to win by 2 here in set 2. Leah Edmond gets the serve for Atlanta. Sends it long. Those service error issues keep cropping up for the Atlanta Vibe. They will get on their feet here in Grand Rapids. Hattie Bray checks in, who nearly sent the Rise to a set 3 win back on Thursday. She's got a chance to close the book in the second. Into the net, service error. Tied is at 24. That has been the theme of the night.
And looks like we got a serving sub for the Vibe, Pia Timmer.
The outside, formerly of Washington State, third-year pro. Snyder handles it, big point to be decided here. Al Hassan got it. Ramad Al Hassan, it's set point once more for Grand Rapids. Rumpelberg comes back in for Atlanta. Sage Caja Ina Torres, who started us with first serve, can finish it with the last serve in set 2. Carlson looking, a swing and a score. Raven Colvin evens us at 25.
What a great shot by Colvin, going down that deep line.
Big point hanging in the balance here was we're even at 25. Avery Carlson. Snyder pops. Sage looking for Carly Snyder. Handled. Great play by Carlson. Other side, Jones. PBR dives to keep it going. Sage for Shelton. Scores! Alexis Shelton! Kathy George has been saying she's been looking for a team with the killer instinct. They're 1 point away from getting a 2-0 lead. Alexis Shelton with an outstanding start here tonight. Timeout Atlanta. They want to talk about it, so we'll talk about it a little bit as well. You know, right now, considering Elizabeth Inna is not in this lineup for this one here so far, they're looking for answers, especially on the opposite side, and Alexis Shelton is making a huge case for more opportunities right now.
She's really showing up and showing out tonight. It has taken her a couple games to get that opposite position under her belt. You wouldn't know it tonight that she doesn't normally play that position. She's really coming out of her shell.
26-25 Grand Rapids. 1 point lead and a chance to finish the job. They've had a couple of cracks at it, but they haven't been able to get the big one. Carly Snyder serves. An attack from some distance. This one hits the line. Point Atlanta. Oh, they cut that perfectly from the side with Aiko Jones.
What a set. That was beautiful by Aiko Jones.
This is more of the Atlanta vibe that Grand Rapids was expecting. Taylor Smith serves, PBR to Sage. Al Hassan swings and scores. Let's do it again. Another set point for the Grand Rapids Rise.
I really love how Sage Caja Torres is going to her middle and forcing them in these top plays.
Here's Al Hassan from the line. Right on the line, kept there. Carlson for Jones to the middle. Sage lays out. Al Hassan looks for some help from Paige Briggs Romine. Diving play, Rumpelberg. Edmond swings. It is blocked. Set number 2 at long last goes to Grand Rapids. Electric. Set number 2. They don't get much better than that. And with that, we say hello and welcome to intermission coverage here of Grand Rapids Rise Volleyball. She's Katie Olson. I'm Dan Hasty. And Morgan Hentz is now in the building, the newest member of the Grand Rapids Rise. Morgan, welcome. It's got to be very exciting past 24 hours.
Yeah, pretty much wild in a whirlwind, but I'm really happy to be here.
Now, you just saw a team come out with all kinds of energy on your side in set number 1. I know it's so new and there's so many moving parts, but what were your impressions, your first impressions of playing in this game scenario with your new team?
Yeah, I mean, wonderful group of girls. Everyone was so welcoming, and I feel like we were all just adamant about using our voices and try to make this transition seamless as possible.
What did it mean for you to see your team win both of these sets and do it, albeit in very different ways?
Yeah, I think we were just one point at a time, next play mentality, never holding on to the last play too long, which I feel like that's the most important thing in the sport of volleyball.
So you're pretty familiar with this Atlanta Vibe team. What's it like playing against them in the Rise jersey?
Yeah, it's always so weird when you play former teammates, but that's like across the league, and you know, it's fun. You know, like at the end of the day, we're all really great friends.
Well,
so.
It certainly looked like fun in those first 2 sets. Go get them the rest of the way.
Thank you.
That is Morgan Hentz, the newest member of the Grand Rapids Rise. So excited to have her, and you can tell as the results have already shown exactly that. 2-0 Grand Rapids with the lead. Quick early impressions and your thoughts on what you saw.
The fire, the energy, the killer instinct that the Rise have shown that we have not seen in the first 9 games. You're seeing tonight, whether that's Morgan Hentz or just how they all feel together. You can feel it in the building. You can feel the excitement in the fans. It's electric in here, and that's so great.
Well, that's Major League Volleyball at its finest. Take a timeout. When we come back, we'll get you ready for set number 3. So far, it's 2-0 in favor of Grand Rapids. The new Morgan Hentz-led Grand Rapids Rise right here on Rise Radio, presented by U of M Health West.
Go! And our contestants are off.
Van Andel Arena is the site, and it's time once again for Grand Rapids Rise Volleyball.
If you love the speed, the power, the pure electricity of NCAA volleyball, experience it at the next level with the Atlanta Vibe. Watch world-class athletes firing rockets from the service line, diving for impossible saves, and battling point for point in the most exciting volleyball atmosphere anywhere. Catch the Vibe and get tickets now.
From a 4-time AVCA All-American and 2-time SEC Player of the Year Kentucky, Leah Edmonds' journey is built on grit and heart. The first player ever signed to MLV and the 2024 League MVP. Now in her 3rd straight year as captain, she's earned 3 Pro Player of the Week honors, including her first of 2026 this week. And off the court, she shows up, mentoring, inspiring, and giving back to the next generation.
Grand Rapids Rise Volleyball.
What's our vibe? It's explosive. It's powerful. It's fun. Every serve hits hard. Every block hits harder. This is Atlanta's pro volleyball team. All ATL. All vibe. The energy is unmatched. Come see what the hype is about. Catch the vibe and get tickets now at atlantavibe.com.
From your favorite athletes to your favorite music, listen to everything you love and so much more with the free iHeartRadio app. From live play-by-play to your favorite game day anthems and the biggest sports podcasts in the world, the iHeartRadio app lets you take it all with you and stay connected to your favorite team wherever you go. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
The 2026 MLV All-Star Match is coming to Orlando. The brightest stars in Major League Volleyball will compete in Edition Financial Arena Saturday, March 28th, live on CBS. Tickets available now at provolleyball.com.
You've got to get off the couch, off the phone, and join thousands of other screaming fans for a nail-biting, heart-pounding, in-person experience you have to see to believe. It's the NCAA D1 Women's Volleyball Championship. Sign up for pre-sale news and more at ncaa.com/volleyball.
Caleb Anworth's team silencing the skeptics.
We have had a phenomenal team as we look to bring home a championship in season 3.
We're continuing to get better, and I'm really excited because we haven't played our best volleyball yet.
Pony Club.
And Morgan Hentz brings that to the Rise, and you're seeing just a new kind of gelled team that's hitting better, that's playing more defense, that has that communication. So it's so important.
And for Grand Rapids, you got to love it, and it's not just because it's Valentine's Day. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, it's time for set number 3. We'll see if Grand Rapids can finish what they could not finish on Thursday against San Diego. They've got a 2-0 lead as we get set for set 3 here from Van Andel Arena on Rise Radio, presented by U of M Health West. We have about 90 seconds to play with if you want to do that with spots. And now it's totally flipped here today.
You know, I had to keep it going. Valentine's Day weekend, gotta throw that red out.
Well, happy Valentine's Day to you and yours. We'll see if Grand Rapids can finish up with what they had trouble doing during the contest on Thursday. What was the biggest reason that Grand Rapids was unable to close? And what do you think Kathy George was talking about? Because you know that was probably the focus of this conversation at the intermission.
The winning the wrong rallies, being able to put away those points when they mattered, which is what you saw in that first set. They were winning those long rallies. So she honed in on that. Because like we said, in the third set versus the Mojo, they had it. They were there, but they weren't able to string together those points. Tonight, they are starting to put those points together.
Let's start set number 3, shall we? Sage Kaha-Ina Torres to serve for Grand Rapids. Too strong, that one goes long and out. Service error for Grand Rapids. And that's the 7th one of the Grand Rapids variety tonight. We've had issues with that on both sides so far. This one pops over. Snyder's there for it. They look for Carly. It's kept alive by Rumpelberg. Little free ball comes back. Al Hassan. Sage wants Shelton. She's had a red-hot start, but it's kept alive. Little tap at the net, kept alive, diving play. Sage Shelton keeps it going, but slamming it down is Raven Colvin. 2-0 Atlanta.
And Raven Colvin really stuck with that play, being up there and ready. She now adds her 7th kill.
Avery Carlson. Page to Sage to Al Hassan. Little tic-tac-toe. Makes it 2-1 Atlanta.
They have really figured out that combination. At the beginning of the season, getting Al Hassan set high enough was a little bit of a challenge.
Carly Snyder, who got on a tear early from the service line. Little slide play, and this one's down for Atlanta, so they run Carly off quickly thanks to Raven Colvin.
Boy, she is really heating up.
So the other side we go, and Taylor Smith. Snyder for Sage, Al Hassan, little swing and a miss that time. Now in that situation, is that more on the setter or is that on the striker? Because it's hard to tell when it all happens so fast.
That was just a little low of a set for Al Hassan.
Snyder receives that serve. They'll try Alexa Shelton instead. Tap at the net, down it goes. Paige Briggs-Romine. It had all the makings of a happy birthday ball, but there was a little bit more of a fight at the net. 4-2 in favor of the Vibe here in set 3. If you remember in set 3 back on Thursday, 8 straight points reeled off by San Diego. Grand Rapids will try to avoid that third set lull. They have yet to have a 3-set sweep this season. Nice play by Sage there. Snyder bumps it. Shelton attacks, but it's handled by Atlanta. To the middle, Colvin blasts it through. 5-2 Vibe. And they're running their offense through Raven Colvin.
Oh my goodness, the trust that Carlson has in Colvin is awesome for a rookie setter.
Colvin gets a chance from the line. And she aces for the 2nd time today. Where they picked that back corner where Paige Briggs-Romine was stationed. Trying to go to the opposite side of where Morgan Hens is. That back line is so formidable as Colvin puts it into the net and gives that point back to Grand Rapids. Alexa Shelton having her best game as a member of the Rise. They look for Jones, and that one gets slammed down. Boy, Aiko Jones has had some moments tonight as well.
She has such power behind that ball, and the lineup against Paige Briggs-Romine, she is just so much higher on the net.
Hard not to be impressed by what we've seen from Aiko Jones today as Sage looks for Shelton. Nice little play to keep it alive, and now to the other side. There's Jones, and that one too strong. Point Grand Rapids. They're talking about these connections between these two squads. There's a couple of hometowns that are represented well in this one, as this one gets blocked for a moment, but Atlanta gets another chance with a setter dump. Good play by Hentz to keep it going. Snyder swings, and it goes back to Atlanta with Taylor Smith. Little quick pop, played by Grand Rapids. They want Shelton. Didn't get it where they wanted to. Here's a chance for Edmond. Paige Briggs-Romine down to get it. They look for Snyder. Kept alive with a diving play. Great job by Aiko Jones as Edmond swings and scores. What a job by Atlanta to get the point, 8-4. Ava Martin and Allison Mayfield of the Vibe and Rise, respectively, both from the same hometown. Overland Park, Kansas. You get a look at Leah Edmond. Now in her third season with Atlanta. Not a lot of three-year players here in MLV. The one for Grand Rapids, Alyssa Jensen. We've yet to see her here tonight, although a lot of players are now in year number 2 with their respective clubs. We saw Morgan Hentz play her first 2 seasons with Atlanta. But Edmond now in year 3. Great play by Hentz against her former teammate. They look for a slide play, and Meyer scores. Leah Meyer. And the Rise trail by 3, 8-5 in set 3. They've got a 2-0 lead here tonight.
Such a good out-of-system slide play, and then Leah Meyer was able to get that right through the seam of the block.
And it's her turn to serve. Into the net. Well, Atlanta looks a lot better off here in set number 3. They'll give Corey Lewis a chance from the service line. Briggs-Romine to Sage. Al Hassan got it blocked, but back to Atlanta. They've got a chance to attack. Momentarily blocked, but unable to get it over is Atlanta. That'll go as a point for Grand Rapids. They could use a run down by a score of 9-6. Sage Kaha, Ina Torres. They look for Smith. She shoots it too far. Taylor Smith misfires. 9-7. But doesn't it feel like all the folks in attendance are just locked in right now? Not a whole lot of phones to be seen as Morgan Hentz nearly goes into row 1 to get it. Play continues. Atlanta looks for help. And down it goes thanks to a swing from Aiko Jones. 10-7 Vibe.
I love the way that Carlson is running this Atlanta Vibe offense. She is very unpredictable and mixing it around.
You know, sometimes they put notes on chairs for people sitting in the first row saying that volleyballs, or in this case, people might be flying into the stands. Might have to bold that line now that Morgan Hentz is in town. 10-8 after the service error. Here's Carly Snyder. Wouldn't Grand Rapids love to keep her on the line for a while? Little slide play kept alive. Sage, chance at the net. Briggs-Romine swings. Edmonds there for it. Other side, Smith lands it with a right.
What a swing by Smith. She saw that gap and was able to execute on that play. She's really taken advantage of her time. She started this third set.
Taylor Smith, third-team All-American back in 2023. There's Paige Briggs-Romine as that ball ends up in about row 10.
That's the set. That is what you are trying to do as a setter. Leave one of your attackers wide open. They jumped with Al Hassan, and she got it right to Paige Briggs-Romine.
Beautiful job there by Sage. Point goes to Grand Rapids. They're down to 11-9. Al Hassan keeps it alive. There's Shelton. There's Snyder. Free ball comes back from Sage. Atlanta will reset. Punched at the net, we'll try it again. Al Hassan takes charge. Shelton got it blocked. Sage goes down. Meyer looking for PBR, who swings and scores. What a sequence! And PBR tops it off.
Whoever said middles can't set, we had both of them in there for that.
That's a little new as Al Hassan goes to the service line. They'll try and get Aiko Jones, and she's able to get it over that Rise defense out of the outstretched hands of the newest setter, Rumat Al Hassan.
Such a smart play by Aiko Jones, realizing that they had a middle in back row.
There's Raven Colvin. Briggs Romine down. They set it up for Meyer. She wasn't quite ready for it. Here's a quick dump that's blocked by Meyer, but Atlanta has a chance again. Edmond can't get it over. Point Grand Rapids. Not going to get Leah Edmond to make that mistake all that often. Leah Edmond, one of the most recognizable faces in MLV. She was the league MVP back in year one. They look for her here. She got it blocked, but a great play by Smith to keep it going. Iko Jones can't land it either. Morgan Hentz trying to set up PBR, and she does! The Hentz effect ties us up at 12. Alexis Shelton's turn to serve. Atlanta there, they set it up in the middle. Kept alive for a moment, but Corey Lewis able to knock it through.
Corey Lewis has such a high touch that she was able to cut that middle ball in front of the 3-meter line.
And in such a timing-based game, getting it that high and getting it at that moment really feels like an advantage. Iko Jones serves. Hentz to Sage, wants PBR, kept alive, fight at the net, good play by Shelton to keep it going. Other side, Briggs Romine. A little bit of traffic there as Edmond does everything she can just to get it across. Sage, setter dunk, scores, and we're even at 13. Sage Kaha, Ina Torres.
We knew that she was gonna have at least one attack on the night.
To Paige Briggs Romine. Doing a little floor maintenance right now is Iko Jones. And now we're set to go. Great night tonight for Jones as that one hits the top of the net and goes over. A fine example of clean living for PBR. The lead goes back to GR. Briggs Romine would love to repeat that again. Instead, Atlanta looks to send it back with Edmond, and she scores. Evens us up at 14. Well, in spite of that first set, this has been pretty much close ever since. It's an Atlanta team that comes in at 4-4 as that one misfires. Grand Rapids sitting at 2-7, but even with that record, that trade that was made yesterday in some ways kind of almost feels like a clean slate of sorts. You can't erase what already happened, but certainly gives a fresh perspective, doesn't it? Here's an attack from distance. It's handled by Paige Briggs Romine. Sage wants Shelton. A little bit of a tough time getting it. They'll do what they can with Corey Lewis, who sends it out of bounds. 2 straight points for Grand Rapids, and they're the first to 16 in set 3. We'll step aside, we'll take a timeout. When we come back after this 30 seconds, we'll see if Grand Rapids can get to where they couldn't get on Thursday. And that is a sweep here in GR. They're up 2-0. Welcome back to GR. So far, so good. We've had some compelling volleyball play between these two teams here tonight. We'll see what has in store for the remainder of set number 3. We're back to live action as a chance goes at the net, and it's kept alive as Carly Snyder looks to pop it across, and Corey Lewis helps to keep it going. Other side, handled and scored by Leah Edmonds. Point there, brings it back to a 1-point set. 2-0 Grand Rapids. If you're just joining us, the Rise got each of the first 2 sets. Their first set win their biggest of the year, biggest in franchise history, as an ace lands for Corey Lewis and company to tie us up at 16. Second set was much tighter. 28-26 was the final in set 2. Sage looking for Al Hassan, got it blocked. Raven Colvin, she's having a night.
Wow, she really made her presence known. That was straight down and hard.
Perfect spacing, perfect timing there for Raven Colvin. Serve over, Sage wants Snyder, who swings, it's down. And after 3 straight 5 points, we're tied at 17. The Rise are without a straight set victory this season. If they can win the race to 25, they got a good chance to do it tonight. Sage serves. Carlson on a slide play, handled by Paige Briggs-Romine in the back. They look for Snyder again. Got a little bit out of system, but a little bit of a mess on the return by Atlanta. Point Grand Rapids as it goes out of bounds.
Looks like there's just a little bit of miscommunication there. You had 2 players going for the same ball.
You can't say that the communication has not been there for Grand Rapids tonight. Here's a slide play and a point for Grand Rapids. A little bit of an issue at the pin, perhaps.
Looks like the set was just a little long and Raven Colvin wasn't able to get to that ball before it reached the antenna.
Makes it a 2-point Grand Rapids lead. A little bit of a kind of a back and forth swing here or two in set number 3, but we're talking about the communication. Grand Rapids has had that working for them tonight.
They haven't. I think you can see it with the middles the most. So you're getting more in-system balls on serve receive, and then you're able to set them more efficiently and effectively.
The Grand Rapids looking at a 3-set sweep. If they can get it, it will become the first time this season that they have that. Grand Rapids actually has a bit of a tough road over the next couple of days and weeks. They're off to Dallas to take on the newest team in the MLV. That's the Pulse. They do have a little bit of time before that. There's 8 days between those matches. As we move back into live play, Sage to serve for Grand Rapids. That was a tough move there and a great swing from Taylor Smith. Well, I give a lot of credit to Carlson there, who was able to track it down and, more importantly, put it in a good spot. 1-point Grand Rapids lead here in set 3. They've got a 2-0 set advantage. Carlson serves. PBR to Sage. They want Snyder. She scores. Tried to get the block with Smith, who actually got a good piece of it, but just couldn't get it down in bounds. 2-point Rise lead as we creep towards the finish. Snyder serves. Carlson on a slide play. Colvin bashes it over, but not down. Alexis Shelton on the other side. Popped up, Atlanta controls. Other side, Corey Lewis slams it home. And more importantly for Atlanta, they run Snyder off the line. 20-19, Grand Rapids by 1. This is a team in Atlanta that Grand Rapids had a lot of success against early in these 2 franchises' births. Year 1 was really Grand Rapids' favored, as Morgan Hens can't get to that one point. Atlanta were tied at 20. And if you remember, it was Grand Rapids who actually beat Atlanta in the postseason that year. That was what got them into the championship match. We get a timeout from Kathy George and company. So they'll talk about it now. But ever since then, it feels like Atlanta's sort of had the last laugh. Over the last couple of seasons, it feels like it's been more controlled by the Vibe.
It has, and they swept the Rise at their first meeting this year, and right now, tied at 2020, they have the lineup that they want in the front row. You have Leah Edmond, Raven Colvin, and Aiko Jones. Those are their 3 best attackers, and they're all in the front row right now with their back row setter.
So Grand Rapids is sitting at 20-20. You can't help but think about what happened in the third set on Thursday. It was a huge run for the San Diego Mojo. It put them in a space where they had control, but then Grand Rapids made a hard charge back throughout the course of that third set, but could not close it. Granted, we were also at 20-20 back in set 2, and Grand Rapids was able to find what they needed. Their different dynamic here tonight has already paid off. Let's see if they can get them to the finish line in set 3. Smith serves. Page to Sage, back to PBR, but it's handled by Atlanta this time. Other side, Corey Lewis, got it blocked. Ramon Al-Hassan. Aiko Jones tried to throw it down, and instead, what a play. Ramon Al-Hassan's had that a couple of times tonight, KO.
And now we have a good serving sub. Camila Gomez coming in.
Comes over Atlanta, looking to set up shop. Aiko Jones, what a night for her. Evens us up at 21. You know, regardless of what happens tonight, she's been the player of the game for the Atlanta Vibe.
Oh my gosh, she's been great and so smart. She's not afraid to take those big swings, but then she realized that Gomez was sitting so far back on defense and just popped it over right where she wasn't.
Raven Colvin to serve for the Atlanta Vibe. Page overhands it, gets it back, and throws it down. Paige Briggs Romine. Her head coach loves it. And I know they only count as one, but if they can find a way to get this one tonight and do it convincingly, that would mean a whole lot, as Alexis Shelton nearly couldn't get it over. Other side, Edmond swings. Snyder digs it out. Sage wants PBR again, kept alive on a block. Hence, Sage, PBR swings and scores. 2 big points for Grand Rapids. And now before the serve from Shelton, what do we have here? A timeout, little ice the server from Kayla Vanwarth.
You know, it's so weird because all they got to do is tap on an iPad, where before that was a system, you had to actually go up and show the timeout sign.
Well, you can't take the timeouts home with you. It's 23-21 in favor of Grand Rapids. They've had a couple of big points throughout the course of this third set. And it feels like, again, they're finding a way against a team that is as talented as any team in MLV. When you're dealing with Leah Edmond and what Corey Lewis has done tonight, Raven Colvin has been exceptional as well. I don't think it's that Atlanta Vibe that they've been struggling throughout the course of this night. They've had a few issues at the service line, but they've been impressive in their own right.
They really have, and Aiko Jones and Raven Colvin are really, really keeping their team in it right now.
It's a 2-point Rise lead. One more, and we dim the lights for match point. Alexis Shelton shoots it across to the middle. Shelton goes down for it. What a night for her. Paige Briggs Romine scores! And we are 1 point away from the first sweep of the year for the Grand Rapids Rise. Alexis Shelton to serve for Grand Rapids as they stand here at Van Andel Arena. Handled, Carlson for Edmond, partially blocked. There's Morgan Hens to keep it alive. Attack from Snyder. Handled in the back. Carlson wants Edmond again. Partial block, Sage, slide play, Meyer gets it down! Pure domination by the Grand Rapids Rise. Rise and shine. GR with their first sweep in 2025, and 2026 now finds itself with another victory. But before we do that, we have a challenge by Atlanta, so let's hold on. I believe they're saying that perhaps Atlanta was in the net. So we'll take a look at this. Will we play on? That is the big question. You see Christian Kurtjak, he's our first referee. So they're saying that they think that Grand Rapids was in the net.
You know, at this point, you might as well challenge that. It's that game-winning play. So they're going for if Leah Meyer was in the net on that slide attack.
Grand Rapids is not quite leaving the floor, so if body language tells us anything, they think that, if nothing else, there's reason to wait to find out the results of this pending review.
You know, we've seen a couple of these game-ending challenges here recently.
Well, pending this review, you're going to know by the sound of this crowd pretty soon whether or not this goes as a point for Grand Rapids. It is a net fault on Grand Rapids.
That was not a crowd favorite, if you can hear the
Oh,
awe.
imagine that. Yeah, who would have thought?
Fans, we are still at
24-22, we play on. Atlanta with a phenomenal choice to challenge. Can Grand Rapids put it in the books? Hens goes down. Sage wants PBR. And it's handled by Atlanta. A chance to bring it within two. Great play by Snyder on the Edmond try. Paige Briggs-Romine swings. Kept alive for now. Another great play. Blocked on an Edmond try. They look for her again. She taps. Shelton has it. A chance to finish it off. Paige Briggs-Romine swings. Another great play by Taylor Smith. A chance at the net. This one's down. Sage Kaha Ina Torres puts it in the win column for Grand Rapids. The first sweep of the season for the Grand Rapids Rise. And on the night where Morgan Hens, one of the great volleyball players on the planet, joins her new team, the rest of the squad supports her and responds. Their best game of the season with their newest addition. Take a timeout. When we come back, we're expecting to chat with Kathy George, who no doubt will be a very happy camper after this one here tonight. 3-0 Grand Rapids in straight sets tonight on Rise Radio and YouTube, presented by U of M Health West.
Club. Club.